I remembered that I said I would show you how to make the kefir milk once the grains have multiplied and fermented the milk. So this has been sitting in my cabinet where I keep this overnight, and there are kefir grains in here along with whole milk that has fermented. So I'm simply going to pour it into the strainer. So I poured the fermented milk with the kefir grains into the strainer. And now I'm just separating the fermented milk from the grains. Sometimes you have to stir them just a little bit. And when I did these, when I put these grains in fresh whole milk the other day, I had about a tablespoon. And a lot of times they will almost multiply again, so you'll end up with almost 2 tablespoons. It just depends on how warm your house is, how quickly they replenish themselves. But what happens, what makes them grow, they are a probiotic, and they eat the sugar from the milk, and that's what makes them, wait, I'm not doing what I intended to. I want to put these grains back in the jar that I poured them out of. I usually use my fermenting jar for a couple times before I wash it. Now, all I'm going to do to start this process over, I just put the grains back in here. Now I'm going to fill this jar with whole milk. Put the lid on it. And then I'm going to set it right back here in a specific spot in that cabinet right there where I let it start the process all over again. And I use this for buttermilk, for smoothies, for, I've not done it yet, but you can use it for Greek yogurt because it is so full of probiotics. It's super healthy. One of my friends used it, just started drinking it, and has completely gotten rid of acid reflux. So I'm going to wash my strainer and this bowl just as soon as I'm finished with this process so that it washes up easy. Now I'm just going to put the fermented milk into this jar, and it's ready to use for buttermilk and smoothies, whatever you would use a sour milk for. I will put this in the refrigerator to keep it cold. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is my little trick. I've ended up with 3 jars in the refrigerator. I haven't been baking or making smoothies in the last week or so. So what I want to do, this is milk that was in the refrigerator. It doesn't spoil, it just continues to get more tart. So if you don't want your buttermilk or smoothies or Greek yogurt to continue to gain tartness, then you need to use it or just pour it out. What I like to do is put it into ice cube trays. Then I just freeze this. And 1 ice cube tray makes 1/4 of a cup. So 4 ice cubes, I said ice cube tray, I meant ice cube section. The size of an ice cube in this tray is 1/4 of a cup. So that means if you need a cup of buttermilk or sour milk, or you're making smoothies and you put 4 of these frozen ice cubes in, you'll have 1/4 of a cup. They freeze so nicely. I just took these out of the freezer to show you. As soon as this is frozen, I'll just twist them out and pop them in the bag, and they're ready to use. So I thought that might be a really helpful tip for you in your kefir milk journey.